Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prosperity Post. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most fascinating processes in space science, how planets form in a solar system. Imagine a giant cloud of gas and dust floating in space. This is what we call a solar nebula. It's made of hydrogen, helium, and heavier elements. But how does this cloud give birth to a star and eventually planets? Let's break it down. So, Step 1. The collapse of the nebula. This cloud of gas and dust doesn't stay put for long. Something, like a nearby supernova, causes it to collapse under its own gravity. As it collapses, everything starts to spin and flatten, forming a disk of material around the center, where the future star will form. As the nebula spins, tiny dust grains begin to collide and stick together. Over time, these particles build up into larger clumps called planetesimals. These are the building blocks of planets and can range from just a few meters to several kilometers in size. Next, we move on to accretion. These planetesimals don't just stay in place, they collide with each other, sticking together and growing bigger. As they continue to merge, they form protoplanets, which are essentially the early versions of planets. Over millions of years, these protoplanets get bigger, attracting more material and growing stronger. Now, here's something cool. As these protoplanets get larger, they start to clear their orbits of debris. The material they collide with either gets absorbed or gets thrown out of the system. This process is super important because it shapes the final planetary system. Now, depending on where in the disk these planets form, they end up being different types. In the inner solar system, where it's hotter, rocky planets like Earth, Mars, and Venus form. They can only form from the metals and rocky materials that are able to withstand the heat. But out in the outer solar system, where it's much cooler, the gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn are born. They have enough mass to attract not just rocky material, but also gas and ice, forming massive planets that we see today. As the protoplanets grow bigger, they start to heat up from the energy of collisions and radioactive decay. This heat causes them to melt, and when they do, denser materials like metals sink to the center, while lighter materials float toward the surface. This process is called differentiation, and it gives planets their layered structure. Think of Earth's core, mantle, and crust. Finally, over millions to billions of years, most of the debris in the disk is cleared out. The planets continue to orbit the star, and a stable solar system is born. But even then, some smaller bodies, like asteroids and comets, may still linger as remnants from the early days of formation. And that's the amazing journey of how planets form. From a cloud of gas and dust to fully formed planets. It's a process that takes millions of years, but shapes the very solar systems we observe today. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about space, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Let us know in the comments what other space topics you'd like us to cover.